It's Josh Dix, the Beats Magician.
SeeJeanty, back at it again. The An Nou Pale series, where we have some of the most productive, impactful people who are doing great work in Haiti. And we have a conversation. We have a conversation about not only how are they doing things, why are they doing things, but passing the knowledge and information of how you can do it too. And today I have a guest I've been trying to get with us for quite some time, Pierre Stanley Baptiste. Thank you, my
Chris, thank you for inviting me, man.
This is an absolute pleasure. And this guy, if you don't know, I mean, he's a true Renaissance man. I mean, he's worked for major blogs and online publishers, for example, Huffington Post,
yep.
the Union Suite, a lot of folks names that you guys know. He is on his third book now.
Yes,
and we're going to be talking about that for sure. Social media personality. He has been doing a lot of stuff in this space before I've been doing this stuff. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing it, to be quite honest with you. Also, he is a social entrepreneur doing some fantastic work. In fact, here where we're sitting here at Impact Hub. It is a how would you describe it?
I would describe Impact Hub as a co-working space, but incubator slash.
Exactly. Here in Port-au-Prince, and we're here, right here just downtown Port-au-Prince, really. Like we're here at the heart of it. Yeah. And what's so great is just how much he's been able to influence Haiti and Haitian, right? This is where what we try to do is really engage the diaspora.
Yes.
But you've been just doing such great work with the Haitian who really. One of the reasons it's funny. The biggest thing I hear with everything I do is, Chris, why don't you do it in Creole? Because there's so many young Haitian, entrepreneurs and people of that mindset who really want this information at their heart. And I go, you know what? I don't need to do that. You know why? Because I know so many people already doing great work in the country, and Pierre is one of them. Yeah. Pierre, I want folks to know who you are. Break it down. Tell a little about yourself. Some of the stuff you're working on in full, and let the folks know. Break it down to them.
Yeah. So my name is Pierre Stanley Baptiste. I grew up in Haiti. I was raised in Haiti for most of my life. I went to the States in 2012 to study business management. But before that, I've been involved in many different organizations, social change, community movement. I work with Prison. I started Prison in 2014, which for now, like as today, we have helped almost 2,000 kids with backpack, school supplies, and other things. I am also the managing director of Impact Hub Port-au-Prince, which is a co-working space with a global community of 16,000 members all over the world. And also, I am the guy behind On Startup, which is a media company that I'm trying to launch, which will do the promotion for innovation and startup in Haiti, because we don't have media which focus exclusively on startup. So I am trying to build that. And over the years, I've wrote books, I've wrote for the Huffington Post, for Union Suit, and many other media company. And right now, I am on my next venture, which is my book, Underdog Revolution, which is a book about empowering non-abuse winners and vulnerable communities, and empowering vulnerable communities. So that's what I've been doing. And also, as a side note, I'm currently working on a secret project that will be co-creating space to give access to young entrepreneurs to get access to the tools and supplies they need to create change, to create nice products.
Excellent. Yeah. A lot to unpack there. We're going to try to break a piece apart each one and really get into a deeper conversational point each. So you gave a really good rundown of just what you're doing, get a quick bio, but really break down to us, like, you went to school here, right? And so, coming out of that, como native, what has been, that experience been like, because you're at a place now where you're doing some really great stuff. So kind of walk us through that early timeline when you just getting out of college, you know, and
So, just to be honest and clear, so when I finished high school, honestly, I couldn't go to college. And I didn't want to go to the public college in Haiti, not because it wasn't good, because I had this revolution thing in me, this type of activism, and I don't think it would have been productive for me to go. I would have been someone else, and I didn't want to be that person because I didn't know how to channel my passion or like the drive that I had before. So I applied for a scholarship, which is the SEED scholarship for education and economic development by the USAID. Then the first year I didn't get it, so I was devastated. I was devastated because I didn't know what my life was going to be. And the second year I applied again, then I got the scholarship. I went to the States and I learned. I tried to do in 2 years what I couldn't do in 10 years in the States. I was involved in many clubs, many organizations. I volunteer. I even have a letter signed by Barack Obama because of my President Barack Obama, because of my volunteer work in the States. You know, but when I came back to Haiti, I worked for Digicel, for BIMA for some time, for a year. But inside of me, there was something that I know I was meant to do, but I couldn't do it because of economic situation. Because just to be clear, I'm from a really economically challenged family. So things were really tough. And when I was younger, you know, I told this story many times. I even remember a day where we only had a kazoo, you know, and I had to find some pine cones to make fire and boil that to eat. So
where in Port-au-Prince?
I was in Kenskoff. Yeah, I was in Kenskoff. So I remember that night, and with my mother and my sister, everybody we were hungry. So fast forward, when I came back and I left Digicel, I resigned from my job at Digicel, and I focused on my work with Impact Haiti, which is like a non-profit that I founded, a project that I founded in 2014. I went to the Clinton Global Initiative University and I became a finalist. Then I said, okay, if I can become a finalist, it means there's something that I saw in me.
Doing something.
So I came back to Haiti. I started the project with high school students. It was a project to educate high school students to develop the entrepreneurial mindset. Then as we move forward, I met David, who is the co-founder of Impact Hub. I met so many other beautiful souls and minds. That's how I started doing everything that I've been doing, you know. And I'm really motivated by lifting people who didn't have the opportunity, the non-obvious winners. Because myself, I'm a non-obvious winner. I don't seem like a winner. I don't seem like a change maker. But some people believed in me, they supported me, and I want to do the same for other people.
Fantastic. And so I know a big part of everything you do, you know, you're a writer. So, and in fact, when I first met you, it was at a seminar being held by Kristen on just improving yourself, in particular with hacking. Particularly, it was about, you know, how to hack and not hack. But how to use different resources. Leverage resources. And so you're very much about not only personally improving yourself, but then pass that information along through your books. I know you have 3 books. Right, the first is Réveil, the second is Qualifié, and then the third that you're working on is Underdog Revolution. So talk about what inspires you to write, and ultimately how what inspires you to write has influenced at least the first 2 books you've done.
So the backstory of writing. When I was like 14 years old, I met a alcoholic guy, but he loved writing. So he introduced me to the power of words. Since then, I fell in love with writing. So I've been writing, trying different things. So in 2000, I would say 9 or 10, I started blogging, really just to try the web. Because inside of me, my mother was a teacher, just to tell you. My mother spent like 20 years teaching. So I think she influences me in some sort of way to become like someone of word and someone who likes writing. So who likes reading and writing, all those stuff. So because of my love, because of this influence, I started writing. I started writing because I think that I had something to share. I think there's something in me that I wanted to share with other people. And since then, the teacher in me has never stopped showing up. So that's always why I write. And also I have so many things that I think are useful that people don't know about that I want to share. When I started writing first, I started writing in English. I was like, okay, I was like, it's not making the impact that I want to. Yes, people in the States would read me, they would support me, but what if I started writing in Creole? That's how I started writing for the first time. I think I'm one of the first ones in Haiti who started blogging in Creole. Not just blogging about my life, but blogging about interesting topics like neuroscience, productivity, self-development in Creole. That has never been done before. But when I started writing, my Creole wasn't really good. So I learned, I learn in books, I read books to try to improve my Creole. And right now, I have over 100 blogs on my website. I have 2 ebooks, and also the one that I'm going to publish. The first ebook, Réveil, is about how do you wake up the genie in you. I think all of us, we have someone that the ideal us inside of us. But because of constraints, because of the society most of the time, we are unable to unleash that person. What I try to do through this book, the first one, is to help other young people like me to find themselves, to find their voice, and to put this person, the ideal them, the ideal you, out. And the second book was mostly about, it's like mostly a response to the telecommunications company in Haiti, not to shade at any of them, but
second book, Qualifié.
Yeah, Qualifié, because they were promoting the net as like a way to Facebook, Instagram, but I think the net is so much powerful than that, right? So I wanted to do to this guide is sharing tools that people in Haiti can use to learn coding, to code, to do photography, to manage team, to take classes online, because I think the net is so much powerful. We cannot really summarize the net as just WhatsApp and Facebook. I wanted to give people to help people see the power of the internet through this second book.
Yeah. So that's important because it's I don't. One of the big things that the biggest misconception I feel like is that that's all Haitians need. There's a big development and training. They need money and opportunity.
Absolutely.
Is what they need more, number one.
Yes.
But there is a space where there's a lot of things I know I take for granted as someone who grew up in the States, and as you've been in the States overexposed there as well, that coming back you see there's a lot of things that we use and we think about that isn't part of the ecosystem here.
Yes.
And so that's why it's so important that there is literature and information that's being provided all the time. In fact, your books are free, right?
Yeah,
your first
free.
two, right?
Yeah, they are too.
So you just for folks to be able to consume and improve themselves, and that is truly phenomenal, right? And so now your third book, it's upcoming.
Yes.
And I really want folks to really break in and dive into that, because this is a little different from your other books.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the process involved too. I think you're trying to get some folks to really be part of the stakeholders.
Yes, stakeholders. Yes.
Yeah, break that down.
So just to piggyback on what you just said before, it's really, I don't think training is the only thing that we need to provide, but I think if we want to, we have to build the people first before we build infrastructure. We need to build people we can manage those infrastructures or manage the physical things, And to go back to the book, this book, Underdog Revolution, stems from my personal experience and also my research of that there's a misconception in the world. There's a misconception that there's a way a winner, a change maker, a leader look. Not in terms of like physical characteristics, but in terms of IQ or intellectual characteristics. Some people are written off because they don't have those world standard characteristics. Even studies show that people who are prettier and by world standards have more opportunities than other people. So what I'm trying to show to this book is that there are some people who don't have the winner's characteristic. We don't have the winner's demeanor. We don't look like winners. We don't have the IQ of winners. But if they are empowered, they will be able to do amazing things. Throughout the book, I take some stories of people living in Haiti who are doing amazing work. People in India, people in India, in the US as well. Let's take for example, how is it possible that the largest library in Haiti will be in Cité-Soleil? How? A neighborhood that we used to call the most gang infested is building the largest library in Haiti, and also going to be the largest for the Caribbean. How is that possible? That's the Underdog Revolution that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. The other thing I want to show to the book is that most of the time, throughout the world, there's a way we view social change and innovation. It's mostly come from the top down. We have a few people in the lab, and the LG department who design the products without getting involvement of the broader community. What I want to advocate for is that how can we see us, the poor people who are struggling, not just as liability to the world, but as co-leaders, co-researchers. And I point out to many different organizations who are doing that in the world. We're not using people as just data providers, but they are using them as co-leaders, co-researchers, people who can be part of the change they want to seek. I don't think we, like poor people, need to be saved. No, I don't think so. I think they need to be empowered to save themselves. And this misconception is that if you're poor, you cannot be creative, you cannot create. And I try to show in the book that there's a link between creativity and constraint. And if we even the playing field, there's hope that we can really lift the bottom of the pyramid up. We can lift those people out of poverty.
That is a book I need to read.
Yeah.
And that's a book that a lot of folks would like to be a part of. So I know you have a special campaign that you're trying to talk about that.
One other thing about the book is that you can be part of the book. It's not a book that you're gonna just buy, but why not have a pre-order campaign? When you pre-order a book, you automatically become a beta reader, which means that for the next 3 months before the book published, you'll be able to read some part of the earlier parts of the book and provide feedback so that the book can become a great book for other people as well. So you're not just someone who is buying the book or just spending money, you're someone who is part of the change, of the revolution that I'm trying to tackle, to make happen. So I have a campaign on Indiegogo. This campaign will help, the fund that I'm collecting will help me fund the cost of publishing, traditional publishing, the cost of publishing, my travel cost, because I'm gonna have to go to DC for the launch party of the book, and also copywriting, video editing, cover design, all the things that are associated with the book will be funded through this campaign. And if you can support right now, if you can buy this book, pre-order right now, that will really help me publish the book. I think that's
we're gonna have the information below, right? And I do want you to go ahead and make sure you participate, because this is really something that it's not even about the funds. It's about being a part of something, being part of a mission that really is going to be a part of a wider change in the country of Haiti. Not only just informing you of what's going on, but be a part of that wider change that really can drive action, because that's what we're about here. We're about driving that action and driving that dynamism, right? So while I have you here, I want to ask you some questions that a lot of diaspora have, and it's important that we sort of, either enlighten or change misconceptions, right? And really one of the first ones I want to ask is, I guess to you, and this might be in your book too, so don't put too much, don't give us too much. They make sure they get the book. Like, where do you feel for this young, like I'm talking about 20 to 30 year old Haitian, where is the opportunity, right? That's number one. And then given where the opportunity may be, how can the diaspora tap into that segment and help? I
think because we are close to the US, and we have the largest diaspora community in the US as well, there's a big opportunity in the tech sector, I would say. That's the very first thing. The second thing I would say, there's a big opportunity in terms of, like, not for abroad, but for Haiti. How can we supply the importation? Because we have almost 2 billion of importation, only 300 million, I think, of exportation. How can we create products that can be used inside of Haiti? For example, eggs. I think we order 9 million eggs every day or something like that from the GL. Like, how can people in Haiti produce those things? I think the first thing the opportunity is, like, how can we feed ourselves? How can our food doesn't depend on someone else? I think the very first opportunity would be there, because there are so many things that we are buying from abroad. Just that will help so many Haitians, so many entrepreneurs make money. And then the second thing I would say, one of the biggest opportunity as well is in the design/fashion craft sector in Haiti. We have natural talents for design, for beauty. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that. But there's something that we are missing. This professional touch. Like, I don't want you to buy Haitian product just for charity purpose. What I call charity buying. You should buy it because it's beautiful, because it's good, because it's interesting. Even sometimes when products are good in Haiti, they have difficulty competing with outside product because they don't have a good branding, or the good finishing, they aren't polished. So there's a big way that we can do diaspora could support in that way. And also think that we send money to Haiti, it's really good, and I don't have people in diaspora, unfortunately, but a lot of people in Haiti are living because of diaspora help, because it's really important. But I see, how can we create fund to investment fund? Like, not to give investment fund. You think that some projects are going to work, you think that there are opportunities for you, and you invest into those projects and you get your dividend in the next 2 years or 2 years. And the other thing, I think, the link. How can the diaspora be the voice of what's happening in Haiti too? Let's say if something good is happening in Haiti, there are really minimal chance that it goes abroad, because language barrier is one, but how can diaspora be the voice for innovation or things that are happening in Haiti to share with those, so the world can see us in a different light? And I think the diaspora is doing an amazing work, but I think there are so many room for improvement and collaboration.
And really the final question I want to ask, as someone who grew up here, and then when you're in the States, how long were you in the States for?
2 years, two years.
Good amount of time. And then came back. In a way, you can talk about, because a lot of the folks who are part of SeeJeanty, they're of the mindset of returning to impact, just like we are. And so, knowing how you came back and how you've been, I want to say, pretty darn successful in your transition and growing, help them with that process. How would you advise someone in the diaspora to come back? What are some steps or some ideas to maximize their chance of success?
I think the first thing I would say, like they do in Alcohol Anonymous or other sort of program that help people with addiction, is recognizing the problem. Is accepting the fact that there are some challenges here. Not be blind that say, oh, I'm gonna make change. You have to make sure that you understand the environment, the challenges and the opportunities as well. Don't go blind, don't come blind here. Also, I remember one of my friends said, when you come here, come with your boots. Be ready.
Because you're going to work?
Yeah, you're gonna
soldier on the ground.
Yeah, soldier on the ground. That's the first thing. The second thing I would say is be driven by mission. Because at some point, you're going to fail. At some point, you're going to find roadblocks because the system is a little bit not broken, but it's not working effectively, efficiently. If you are driven by a mission, when things get tough, you'll be able to go to those valleys, because it's important. Third thing is collaborate. I know there's this mistrust between maybe diaspora and local people, because sometimes they send money to do something and they come in Haiti, things not being done. But the only way you're gonna get forward is to trust each other. And trust is something that you give first, and the hope that the person gives it to you back. It's not guaranteed. So I think in some sort of way there are things that are gonna not work. But if we can find a way to collaborate with local people, that would be good. Just one of the things I'm talking about in my book is how do you identify local innovators, local change makers, and how do you partner with those local innovators and change makers? Because right now, like in Impact Hub, I didn't have the contacts to fund Impact Hub, because you don't know everything. Even if you have been in Haiti when you were a kid, you don't know everything. So listen to the local people as well. At the same time, the local people should also know that you have a fresh perspective on things, and how can we bring those two perspectives to solve the problem that we seek to solve. That would, in a nutshell, that's what I would advise.
I love that, and it's practical. It's some things that, in fact, I don't think I've expressed yet, even though they're very true, right? So thanks for that. So again, I want to key on again that opportunity to be a part of Underdog Revolution, right? And the link is below, right? So I really want you guys to be a part of that, right? And from there, you know, we're gonna put a lot of Pierre Stanley's information available, right? I want you to follow my IG. I want you to follow him on Facebook. Has a lot of interest. I mean, just a few months ago, you head up Startup Week.
Yes,
right?
yes. One of the largest event like here, and the most inclusive largest event like in Port-au-Prince. 1,000 participants, 64 speakers, 54 volunteers. Was really.
And this is just another day for our guy Pierre here, right? So you want to follow him. Make sure you stay in the know of all the things that he's working on directly, and he's a part of and helping. And I want to thank you so much for coming out, man.
Thank you so much, Chris, for giving me the opportunity to talk about what I do.
No problem. Thanks for doing it.
Yes.
All right, guys. This is how we do things. An Nou Pale series here on SeeJeanty. And as always, until we're back at it again, we'll be back at it again.
It's just Sticks the Beats Magician.